So let's get started, guys. So this is Pratik here from Sahi Pro team. We have been working on Sahi Pro 10 for some time now. During this time, we have reached out to some of our customers to get their feedback on the changes that they would like to see in the product. Sahi Pro 10 is the result of your feedback and the innovation of our developers. So let's see what exactly we have in store for you in Sahi Pro 10.0. BDTA is now multilingual. Now users can write the scenarios in their own business languages like Turkish, Japanese, German, etc. We will see in detail in the demo later part of the webinar. Reports are revamped. We have given the new look to our reports, which we will see later on in the demo as well. AI infused. We have added one more add-on to our product suite. Enhance applet automation. You don't need a desktop to automate the browse applets now. You can very well do it with the desktop add-on itself. Now let's see all of them in detail. BDTA is now multilingual. Like not all the business uses English as their language, preferred language. Philosophy behind the business-driven test automation was anyone can help in automation, right? Be it a business analyst, domain expert, or tester. It may be possible that business analysts or the domain experts want to write scenarios in the business language that they use, and that may or may not be English, right? This has prompted us to provide the solution which can cater this request. Also, this was the feedback received from one of our well-wisher, Mr. Yogi. Our entire team is very thankful for your valuable suggestion. I'm sure this will not only help you, but also it will help all the users who doesn't want to use English as a preferred language. BDTA now support all the business languages such as English, German, Dutch, etc. Before if you are aware of the BDTA how it works, before it used to look something like this, wherein you have to write your own write the business flow in the English kind of a language, which was also fine. But now with the help of multi-language, it can be written in a German, or it could be written in Turkish, or it could be written in a traditional Chinese language as well. The next is we have revamped our reports. The new report features modern design. The improved navigation intuitive user interface makes the design right information easier for our users. The rich user interface and lot of adds lot of value to the business and reduces the time and efforts puts in by the user to analyze the reports. Before it would look something like this, wherein we are showing you the suite list page wherein all the suite report would look like this. Now it would look something like this, wherein every information is visible and you can find all the correct information on your fingertips. This is how the suite report used to look like, and now it would look something like this. Right? AI assisted OCR and image recognition. So the new add-on uses optical character recognition, also known as OCR, in areas where elements are not easily accessible. Apart from text, it can also use image recognition to identify the elements. The recorder can record the text from the screen and create the snips from the icons. It can also add some threshold to allow fuzzy matching in tricky areas. With this kind of features, we were able to automate complex applications like Creo, CATIA, Windchill, and other AutoCAD applications. The next was enhanced applet automation. So previously we were used to automate applets using browser, as well as the desktop add-on. Now we don't need browser add-on. It can directly be automated using the desktop add-on itself. Applets will get identified as Java mode, whereas the element on the browser needs to be automated using the desktop add-on. Now let us see how whatever we have discussed, how we can do it in the demo. So the first thing which we would like to demonstrate is the BDTA with different languages. So if you are not aware of what is all about business event test automation, so we will first cover that, and then later we can demonstrate how we can run different type of languages as well. So once you install the product, you will see all the browsers on your system, and then you will have some icon links for editor and other things as well. So first of all, we will click on editor, which will bring up the screen something like this. And here we can write our business driven test automation scenario files. So we will say new and scenario. I'll first save this file as webinar register user. So here what we are going to do is we are going to cover record a use case wherein we will be trying to register the user. The register user would happen with some steps like navigating to a registration page. Right now, everything I'm writing in English. The same can be written in any language of your choice. Then register, the new user will happen. Register new user. Whenever we are registering a user or whenever we are registering ourselves, we know for a fact that we have to add some personal details, something like first name, last name. This is the normal registration flow that we are trying to automate here. So we will be adding first and last name, email, telephone, password, and confirm password. So these are the typical registration form details that you would be having. If you know, that is good. If you don't know, then also it's completely okay. Then we may have to verify the user registered, maybe verify the success message, and if some message comes up, you can basically pull that message as well. Then basically we will log out from application. If we have a test case ID, we can have write test case ID here and with the valid description. This will register the user and verify the success message. So whatever I'm writing in English, this everything can be written in any language as we mentioned, and you can use it for name of the file also. You can use any language. Once you're fine, these are the flow that you want like to be automated, then you right click on it and say run/record. Here you have to specify the technologies, as Sahi Pro can automate many technologies like browser windows. You can choose, since we are trying to automate a web application, I'll choose browser and specify the URL over here. And this is the application under test URL, which I'm going to specify here. And then say click run/record. It will open up the browser with the URL that you have specified and the browser which you have selected. So you could see that the Cool Store application has launched in the Edge browser, and it has also opened the controller for us to record the actions. So here we have to specify the file name. So I'm going to click on OK. Specify the file name as webinar functions lib and click on record. So now any action that I'm going to perform over here will be recorded. And the first thing which we would like to do is navigate to register page. So you click on the icon and click on register. Here my registering navigating to register user story is completed. So I'm going to stop it and see what all statement it has recorded. You can see that it has two statements. One is my account, clicking on the my account and clicking on the register link, which is what we have done. And if you are fine, you can click on save and proceed further. The next thing which we have written in the scenario file was register the user. So I'm going to click on OK and perform the steps which are required for registering the user. So we can say that Steve Smith, Stephen Smith webinar at example.com. So here I'm doing nothing but filling out the form to complete my registration process. And check the checkbox and click on continue. So here we have completed one flow wherein we have registered the user, um, and I'm going to stop it. So you can see that all the statement which I have recorded has been all the steps I have performed has been recorded, and you can see all the statements and the data in the step itself. But ideally you would not be registering the same user every time, and it won't get registered as well. What you would like to do is you can pass in the different account details which you want to basically register. So we should be able to extract this information out from the statements and pass in as an argument. So you can see here there are some checkboxes and there are some data available. So you can pick up which data you want to extract and specify what name you have to provide for that particular data. So this is first name, this is the last name, email, telephone, password, and confirm. So these are the information which we want to pass in as a argument to this function. So it has automatically created a function which can take the arguments like first name, last name, email, telephone, password, and confirm password, right? So you click on save, it will get saved, and it will prompt for another step, which is verify the success message. If it was a manual test case, you could see that your account has been created comes up, and you can mark that particular test as passed. In automation, you have to deliberately add the statements to basically validate or verify some of the things. And in technical language, we call it as assertions. So to put the assertions, what we have to do is you have to press Control and hover your mouse over to the element which you want to put an assert on. So as soon as you type in Control hover, it will show you how that element is being identified. You can basically choose the element that you want to use and click on the assert. This will give you the sample assertions that can be applied on the this element. So you can check for the existence, you can check for the visibility, and you can check for the equality as well. Now I'm going to select these two statements and click on append, and I'll stop the script recording. I'll extract this information as message as we have seen last time also, and click on save. So next again it will prompt for the next step, which was log out from the application. So you click on OK, proceed for log out action, stop the script, and the logout doesn't have any information to be extracted, so it is not showing up any information which you would like to see. So you click on save. So previously you would see that everything was in red and there was no information about what these functions were supposed to do, right? Now all the functions that we have created has a color black, and the information that we have given in during the recording is kept in the function. So I'll just quickly modify the email because we have already consumed this email ID. I'll put one. And now let us play the script and see what happens. So to play back the script, we'll click on playback, and again you specify the browser, the type of the browser, and the URL. The script recorded on Edge can be played back so it can be played back on any browser of your choice, so it doesn't matter on which browser you record, it will work across the browsers. So once you click on the play, it will launch the browser, performs the actions that you have done in the recording, asserts it, and then logs off and kills the browser. Now to check the logs, you can go to the logs and basically see the logs. So you can see that the reports are also changed. It will show you the total number of steps, past, fail, error steps, show the status of the test cases. Also, it will show you the assertions in green or red based on the status of that particular statements. Now let us fail the test and see what happens when the script fails. So ideally, if I run the same script, it wouldn't register because we have already consumed this username, and it will ideally throw some issue. So let us run it and see what happens. So it is again trying to register this user with the same email address, which will obviously fail. Now when it fails, you can see that it has tried to scroll a bit. So I'll show you why it has scrolled, and what would be the eventual status. So if I now see the status, you can see that it has failed, and it is the overall status is error. And these two functions were passed successfully because it was able to proceed further, but while verifying it, it has failed. Why it has failed? Because um, it couldn't find the register successful message because it never reached to that point. And in the screenshot, it has so it will automatically capture the screenshot when there is a failure, and it will put it right after the fail statement. In the screenshot, you can see that there was a warning message. Email is already registered, due to which it couldn't proceed with the successful registration, and hence it was a failed. It was a failure. Similarly, logout would also not happen because it couldn't log in, because it couldn't register successfully. And while doing the logout, while performing the logout, it has failed because it was never logged in. So automatically you will get the screenshot when there are any failures. These are and this is how the failure would look like. And if you were to run the script which has a different language, this is so let me open up the file first. So this is written in German language, wherein everything is written in German and executed on the page, and the logs, the reports of the this type of script would look something like this. And if it was Chinese, it would look something like this. Now, one more thing with respect to the suite and logs are So if you run the suite which is having a DD like the failed test, and if you were to analyze the suite report, right? So each and every, so you have to go inside each and every report and analyze what has gone wrong. So instead of that, thing you can do is you can click on the suite analysis, and you can scroll down and click on the tree diagram. So ideally it would be like this. You can click on tree diagram. It will show you the failure and the reason for the failures. So this particular statement has failed 5 times, and it was called 5 times from a function called create new product. And from create new product, 5 different script has called this function, and this function, inside that function, this statement has failed. So although it shows there are 5 different failures, but if you fix this problem, it will automatically fix the rest of them. Similarly, if you go here and if you click on suite analysis, this particular function was called thrice from verify card total, and this verify card total was called from a 2 different function, and these 2 different function were called by 3 different scripts. So although it shows 3 different failures, but if you fix this problem, rest of them will automatically be will be fixed. So it may be possible that some of the functions may have different flow, but eventually it will be calling one function, and internally it will be calling one statement which is failing. And if you fix this problem, automatically rest of them will get fixed. So this is again, we have added. So this was for business driven test automation and the reports part. Now quickly we will jump on to the AI assist. So I'll minimize it, I'll open it. I already have one application open, and I will also open the controller. For the AI assist to be used, we need either desktop or a browser add-on in order to work with it. So I have desktop here, and click on the desktop icon. It will bring up the desktop controller. Here you may see that there are a couple of options we have added, which is called AI assist. So in AI assist, there are couple of things you can do. You can create the image. Okay, so there are some icons which are not getting identified. So if I try to identify without AI, you can see that it is not able to identify any element on this Creo application. So it just says window Creo, right? It is not able to identify any element inside this application. Now we have to somehow automate this application. So what we will do is we will try to use AI add-on, AI assist add-on, and create the scripts from the AI add-on, AI assist add-on. So first of all, we have some strings, we have some icons, right? So we'll try to create snips out of icons. So you select image recognition and click on capture. So it will automatically gray out your screen, and then you have a plus type of icon wherein you can snip any element of your any icon of your choice. So let me create snip for this system preference, and you can also create different folders and put them into the create the snips into different folders. So if you are working on Katia, so you can create Katia folder and put all your Katia related icons on the Katia folder. If you are working on a Creo app, then you can create a Creo app folder and put all the information or the images in the Creo app itself, Creo folder itself. So I have created one webinar folder called webinar. So I will be putting into that folder, system preference. Okay. So it has automatically created a statement called image and webinar and system preference. You can click on open. It will open up the folders wherein this particular images are getting stored. So you can see that there is a webinar, and then we have a image inside the webinar folder. Now suppose there would be possibilities wherein you have to specify some um, delay. Now if I have to snip anything from here, right? So as soon as I take out my mouse, the tools or the sub menu get disappear, because there is no way, because the focus shifts, right? So in this case, what we would like to do is we would like to add some delay in capturing the image. So if I directly just do it like this, click on it and then maybe try to create a snip out of it, I will never be able to create the snips from that type of element. Now instead of that, I will do it like this, add some delay. So you can see there is a delay options here. So you can put the delay of 3 seconds, 6 seconds, based on the complexity of the tools, or complexity of the sub menus. You can put some delay and click on capture and keep it ready as your screen gets great. Now you can create some snips and say sort by, right? So the delay will help you to create the snips wherein you have a issue with some focuses, and this delay will help you to get this fixed as well. Here are some of the options wherein it can show you where it is there. So if you say is visible, it will tell you whether it is visible on the screen or not. So you can see that it has failed because it has given the false because it is not visible. Similarly, the way we have created for OCR, so image you can create for OCR as well. Now let me just run one script which has these options. So I have create part and I can click on play. So the entire automation has been built using the AI assist add-on. We have put some delay so that you can see it properly. So it is completed and you can see the message as success. Now if I open the script editor and show you the script, so this is what it was, create part, and then what part we have to create. We have to create rectangle.png, like we have to form a rectangle on the screen, and you can see that we have used some of the AI related APIs. Now if you control click on any of this information, you can see that the image, how that particular element was identified. So this was new PNG. Similarly, if you took extrude, so this was the extrude, and then if you say right PNG, that is how the right PNG was formed. Now here we have okay. So all the images would show up in the screen once you do control click on those elements. And if you do it here, it will open up the context panel. Now, last for the demo we have is for Applet Automation. My system doesn't support the applets, so I'm going to run one video So let me pull up the video for you. So here we are trying to create one scenario file, the same BDDA concept, wherein we will be launching the applet and trying to modify some colors on the applet. So here it has created the entire scenario file. So on browser we will use Windows, and later we will use applet for Java. Here we are extracting out the information. It will just complete the process for automating the applet application and create some functions with arguments. And eventually it will put the assert statements and then stop the record. We will also be providing the recorded webinar. So if any of your colleague have missed out joining, so it will be available after 48 hours. So we will send out the link and we will also post it online. So the script has started executing and it will perform the actions which we have recorded during the recording. So that is how we will identify the elements. On browser we will use Windows, and on applet it will be identified as Java, and we have to use the API called launch Java application. The report would look like the normal ones only. So there are some of the questions our team has already responded. I'll just pick out some of the questions and tell it. So there was one question from Alpesh Kumar Chaurasia. AI assist available for mobile. So AI Assist add-on is currently only available only for web and desktop application. In future releases, we will try to add it for mobile as well. One more question was from Andreas. So how does the image recognition work, pixel by pixel, or by saving the snippet as image and comparison? So as I mentioned, when you create the snip, it will put the snip into some the folders that you have mentioned, and then it will do a pixel by pixel comparison and find the image coordinates and clicks it. The another thing is if there are images are not clear, you can also specify some offset threshold values. Is it There is one question from Sunil Kadam. Is it possible to switch from Katia to Innovia and vice versa using AI add-on? Switching between the application has always been there in our scripts, so you can always switch between the applications without any issues. There is one question from Chaitanya K. Capturing the screenshot when there is a failure and they want to do it, capture the screenshot when it is not failing also. So basically we have an API called take pre screenshot, and you can take the screenshot on demand whenever you want. Desktop automation also available for Mac. Basically, as of now, we don't have support for Mac automation. So desktop application on Mac. What you can do is any Java application, those can be automated using on Mac. I'm just scrolling through the questions. Please bear with me. What is the difference between OCR and image capture options? That is asked by Peter Wong. The image capturing is ideally used when there are icons and it doesn't have one characters or letters in it. OCR can be used when there are letters. I think we have answered most of the questions. If anything is pending, our team will reach out to you separately. The recording of the webinar will be available after 48 hours, and we will be sharing the links and details on the email. If there are no more questions, we can wind up this meeting. Thank you for being a part of this webinar and looking forward for your support. Okay, there is one question. Is it possible to compare the PDF export? Yes, we can use PDF. We can compare PDF. We use a third-party tool called PDF box to basically read the content from the PDF and verify from the UI. So thank you guys and have a good day. Bye.